God. Welcome to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast.
Where we talk all things Pro Volleyball Federation.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ian.
Today we're talking the Ride of the Valkyries. Dun, da, 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 da.
That has to be public
sign.
domain. I'll drop it in.
Okay, well, thanks for that song.
Anytime.
We've got the Week 8 volleyball.
Honestly, I'm surprised
it played.
it took us this long to reference the song and sing it.
Well, the Valks have never been on an 8-game win streak. The
True.
biggest win streak in the history of the PVF. So first we're going to get reactions to commercials.
Well, it's kind of a follow-up, I guess, to my Dear PVF.
Oh, yes, indeed.
It's kind of a review. Because my Dear PVF was like, they're not selling me enough things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like in the history of the pod, we really liked the various slogans, real volleyball, the whole fucking thing about MLV being like more revolutionary in spirit than America itself. So that, I think, it ties all in, because really the thing that the commercials were selling us post the second set of this Vibe versus Valkyries game that this commercial break came in, what they were selling us was volleyball itself. As we'll see from all the commercials. The first, into the break, post second set, Valks commercial. It's a website, big plug. They're very family forward in their stuff, right? They're like, have a good time. I get, Universal's there, Disney's there. They say it's good, clean fun as they show a video of a guy wiping sweat off of the ground with a towel.
Conrad, shout out.
Funky music.
Expertly edited.
Yeah. Incredible editing. And then they say Orlando Valkyries Pro Volleyball, you've got to be there. Which, first thought, if we're being honest. They didn't have a second. They didn't even go to the second idea. They were just like, hey, what do we want to say about pro volleyball?
Maybe something like, you've got to be there.
Yeah, just, all right, cool. Write that down. They're saying buy tickets to see the Orlando Valley. Sweet. I've been sold that. But the commercial was made much worse by the next commercial, which is the Atlanta Vibe commercial, about how everyone that plays soccer is a fucking pussy. And you should spit on them as you walk past.
Okay, you know what?
Wait, voiced by children.
Okay, also, we don't know what's about soccer, okay? What other sports do you fall down in?
I feel like the only other sport it could have potentially been for one of the things was basketball, maybe, because there's some whining to the refs in basketball.
Yeah, but
also,
it
can't be anything else.
all love to all volleyball players out there, but you think we're not complaining to the refs?
Yeah, that's part of the fun. I do feel like it is a bold strategy to, when you're saying that stuff, to put it in the mouths of children, to just be like, these kids think you suck. Right? Like, you should get tickets because soccer sucks and there's way more scoring in volleyball and the excitement is, and the Vibe players will beat the shit out of you. And definitely a top tier commercial because they made a child say, kick your ass.
No, they definitely said, don't say ass, say
something that looks like
say
ass.
Butt, or say ask, say abs. Ooh. And we're just going to bleep it over and make it seem like
you said
you
like you made a kid say ass.
Yeah. Was there any indication in that commercial? Obviously, I'm familiar with it, but I didn't, review it with the literary critique that we've come to know and love about Ian's eye. Is there anything to indicate that it was like men's soccer that they were shitting on, or was it soccer overall?
I mean, so this is a linguistic conversation. This is a linguistic conversation, I think, because the little girl who's like, "You little bitch," like she says,
and they didn't bleep it out. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, Ian, do you by chance did you write down quotes from this commercial?
But only a few of them. I
like
would have to go back.
What do they say about flopping?
The general vibe is like people looking for calls, right? Trying to buy calls, diving, if you will.
Yeah.
And this is where the gendered language comes in, because she says, everybody knows you're faking, dude. That's where it's like, oh, but see, me personally, I kind of use dude as kind of non-gendered
interchangeable.
Now.
So I think
everyone can be a dude. Ever since dude wears my car.
Right, we need to do a broader analysis on the colloquialism of the region and to really nail down, are they saying dude in Atlanta to mean
Just like
Anyone.
friend.
Males or females or both.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's tough. It's tough to say.
It
It's
is.
tough to say.
It
But
is.
they then end with a slogan, right? We had Orlando Valkyries Pro Volleyball. You've got to be there. Atlanta goes with pure sport. That's our vibe.
Oh
Which
no.
you get vibe in there, but I don't.
Purity.
Yeah, we're getting back to the real. You know,
Pure sport. That's
Pure
the
sport.
that is a
Knew it was a hydration brand.
yeah.
pure sport.
But
All right, so we've got some native
it's
advertising.
British. I was like, Pure Sport really sounds like they're selling me a beverage of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sports beverage.
Yeah. It's body
And-
armor. It's Gatorade. It's Powerade.
It's pure
It's
sport.
pure sport. There used to be a drink called All Sport.
Okay, so Pure Sport, that's our
Yeah.
vibe.
Pure sport.
Pure sport, that's our vibe.
Two
How long
commercials.
did that
right?
one mantra come up with, do you think? Was
I
that the
feel
first
like-
thing that I don't think it was the first thing that came
I
out
think
of their
maybe
mouth. I think they
second.
did.
They
a
definitely
syn-
had that's
a
our
synonym. Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
And then like
Nailed.
Pure, that took them like a very big Google into synonyms. Maybe that's not the first word they started with,
Yeah.
but that's where they landed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good sport, true sport.
So yeah, they went buy buy tickets for the Valkyries, then buy tickets for Atlanta. Also, don't watch that here because people will judge you. Third commercial, just
As a
general
postscript.
PVF commercial.
Okay.
And this, they had some slogans that they threw out. Season 2, it just hits harder. And,
right.
quote, there is no stopping it. Which is vaguely threatening. Again, just
I'm scared.
like it is said in a way that is very exciting and good and like pumping me up. But then I sit back and I'm like, what is this? What does it mean? What does it mean to me? Is it hitting harder? Who's trying to stop? I mean, I guess, there's some internal power struggles going on. People always trying to stop it. So they're combative in this one. Vague, also enigmatic dance music going on. I'd say maybe second best of the three.
Oh,
But
it's
so far, no losers there.
it's pretty good dance music.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one that goes in a
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
the one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm
exactly
gonna memorize that song eventually.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn to sing on this
If it's
episode.
if it's royalty free, we should co-opt it.
All right, so yeah, we hit PVF commercial, then same Valks commercial as before, same vibe commercial as before.
Yeah,
so they're just
there were a
like
lot-
they're hammering it home.
lot of repeats.
You're watching this game now. You should continue watching other games in the future. Then after that, we get the classic USA Volleyball 40 regions, 4 billion teams commercial that they do. Then
Billions?
coming
Called-
out of that,
It says billion.
40,000.
Oh,
No,
40,000 teams.
like
that song is called The Void, and the Discord group has found it on the internet.
Sick.
It's called The Void.
shout out Discord and
Ba, ba, ba. That one?
the USA.
Yes,
Volleyball
the USA
one.
volleyball
Oh,
one.
okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Then we come out of that same Valkyries commercial. We come out of that same Vibe
boy.
commercial. Then
Yeah.
random iHeartRadio commercial.
Really?
A commercial for a non-associated brand. I'll have to do some research into that. What happened there?
And this-
Why isn't it about volleyball?
And this match was at Orlando. Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like, it was good. I got a little hyper focused. So yeah.
All right. Well,
felt
thank
good.
you for this analysis.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, Ian, for
Sweet.
that. Do you want to go into your scorner? Ian Scorner.
Yeah, it's an Ian heavy episode.
I know, right?
I can't wait.
You didn't even.
Okay. We could do the scorner.
I,
All right, Scorner. It begins Thursday, February 27th. Last month, way in the past, Indy dropped Vegas in 4 on Fox. It was Vegas at the Indy Ignite on FS1. And yeah, Indy started the second half strong. They won the first set 25-23, dropped the second 14-25, won the third 25-18, and finished the game off 25-16. Again, Nina Kadrich led to Indy 18 kills at 342, while Johnny Taylor had another huge game, 17 kills, 275. She's been awesome. Carolyn Crawford had 7 kills at 500 as well, as with multiple blocks. The Thrill headed the match. They didn't hit too bad. They had 203 to Indy's 246, so not a huge gap. Cameron Hanna had a nice game, 13 kills at 407 with 2 blocks. Hannah Maddox had 15 kills at 233 with multiple blocks as well. But, couldn't get it going on the night. Couldn't force that 5th set. Really good in the 2nd set, but other than that, couldn't put it together. All right. Same night, Orlando Valkyries at the Omaha Supernovas. The Thriller going one direction, the Valkyries going the other direction. Orlando defends their place at the top of the standings in an intense 3-set sweep on the road. If any sweep could be called pretty close, I'd say it was this one. Orlando won the first set 26-24. The second was wider, 25-18, and then the third again 26-24. First set was point for point the whole way. Orlando ended up down 20-23 before closing the set. Really kind of running out of things to say about Brittany Abercrombie at this point. She had 24 kills at 524. Just under half the kills for the entire team. The whole team finished at 342. The Novas hit over 300 as well. Just really, really high level hitting from both teams. Natalie Foster and Kaz Brown both had 3 aces, and Brown had 3 blocks as well as her 9 kills at 562 for a really nice game. And it was the start of the Valkyries knocking off traditional PVF powerhouses from last season. Brooke still had 11 kills at 333, and Reagan Cooper had 15 kills at 344. Both really good games, but couldn't get over. Orlando had 8 aces as well to the Supernovas 1, so it was a pretty big difference. Okay, same evening, Grand Rapids at San Diego Mojo. This one on VBTV. Bottom of the standings is just a full mosh pit now. The Mojo took down the Rise in 4, 25-11 in the first set. They dropped the second 18-25, won the third 25-23, and finished it off with a 25-21 win in the 4th set. Reagan Pittman, 6 blocks to go with their 12 kills at 417. They had 16 blocks total on the night over the Rise's 9. Moore had 4 blocks. Ronica Stone had 3, and 16 kills from Kendra Dahlke as well. A tougher day hitting, but everybody else around her picked it up and they won the game. So Rise definitely keying in on her defensively. Had some blocks on her. And Alyssa Jensen on the other side had 4 kills at 444 with 3 blocks as well, but nobody else hit over 200 for the Rise. They couldn't really put it together. All right, moving on to the weekend. Saturday, March 1st. Atlanta Vibe at Orlando Valkyries. The Vibe on the hunt for their reverse sweep, almost got it done, but lost in the close 5th set to the first place Valkyries, who won the first set 25-17, second 25-18, then lost the third 15-25, and then 19-25 in the 4th, and then won the match in the 5th 15-13. Another just massive game from Brittany Abercrombie, 25 kills at 431, leading the Valkyries, who had 282 on the day. The Vibe hit 281. Another really good hitting game from everyone, really close. Natalie Foster had 2 blocks and 12 kills. Courtney Schwann, 10 kills at 267 and multiple blocks as well. On the other side, Merritt Beeson led the Vibe, 16 kills at 300. And Leah Adman and Pia Timmer both had 15 kills hitting in the 200s. A bunch of huge numbers. But Orlando managed to win it by 2 on the 5th set. All right, also on that Saturday, Columbus Fury at San Diego Mojo. Mojo dropped the first set before rolling the Fury in the next 3 to win at home. They lost 20-25, then won 25-16, 25-15, and 25-22 to win the match. 3 dominant games from the Mojo. Ronica Stone had 12 kills at 440. Elise McGee had 11 kills at 400, and Reagan Pittman had 11 kills at 435 with a truly Bastianelli level 7 blocks. And the Fury led on the night again by Isabel Rapach, who had 14 kills but struggled a bit hitting. Hit 188, and the whole team ended up at 156 for the night. All right, Sunday, March 2nd. To end the week, we had 2 matches on the Sunday. First, Indy Ignite at the Omaha Supernovas on YouTube. Indy, another close game, fought hard down the stretch, but Omaha makes up for getting swept early in the week to sweep the Ignite. They won 25-19, 25-23, and 27-25 in the 3rd set. The Cooper Brook Nexus continues to be good. Brooke hit 324 with 16 kills. Cooper had 10 kills, 308. Big night from Lydia Martin, who had 11 kills, almost 600, but it wasn't enough to find a win for the Ignite. Couldn't get much going. They hit 195 to Omaha's 243. All right. Last match of the week. Grand Rapids Rise at Vegas Thrill on CBS Sports Network. Grand Rapids made a pretty big statement as they just continue to pull the Thrill back down the standings, and they swept them 25-18, 25-17, 25-23. Grand Rapids, they smothered them 18 blocks to 8 in 3 sets, and they out hit Vegas 257 to Vegas's 085. Allison Bastianelli finished the game with 6 blocks, and Alyssa Jensen had 5, along with her 5 kills, hitting 222. Paige Briggs, 9 kills at 471, and Erica Pritchard had another good game with 15 kills at almost 300. Her and Paige Briggs both had multiple blocks as well. Lauren Jardine on the other side had 3 blocks and 8 kills at 353, but they couldn't really get anything going around the Rise block, and that ended the week with another Grand Rapids win and another Thrill loss.
Wow.
So in terms of standings, where we're at after week 8, Orlando on top at 10-4, Omaha in second, 9-4, followed by Indy and Vegas, who are both 7-6. Atlanta is 6-8. Grand Rapids and San Diego are 5-8. Columbus is 4-9. The crazy thing is that it's still a lot could happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're about halfway. Yeah.
Yes, halfway. Did I see something about how Grand Rapids and Mojo are going to play each other like a lot of times in 2 weeks? So they just played each other on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They'll play each other again on Wednesday.
Sunday. Oh, Wednesday and then Sunday.
The 5th and then Sunday, the 9th. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's 3 times.
That is a lot.
In 2 weeks, pretty much, right?
They'll know each other well.
It's a weird thing, but
yeah, I think
valiant effort.
Grand Rapids will be out for blood.
For sure. Trying to put a little space between them. In terms of transactions, since we last chatted, Mojo's been doing some chaotic moves. Just a lot of switching things around all the time. So last time we were talking about Yeliz Spasa moving to active roster, she was waived on the 25th, along with Kylie Cole. Then on the 26th, they moved Evan Robinson, who's been injured on and off, to practice squad. Reagan Pittman up to active in order to make a big impact. Elise McGee up to active, and she played as well. That was it for Mojo this week. Atlanta swapped around Whitney Bauer on practice squad, Jenna Rosenthal back to active. Grand Rapids, in important injured people who are back on active, both Naya Shimei of Grand Rapids and Lek on Indy got moved back to active roster on March 1st. But I don't think we saw either of them in the games that followed.
Lekator played.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
Against
Couple
Omaha
sets.
on Sunday.
Right. And I felt like she maybe didn't look 100%.
I would agree with that.
I've been feeling the same way about DeBeer on Indy. Like,
yeah.
Just looked like not a totally 100%. And I think that we'll see them, hopefully, we'll see them continue to heal and get more and more confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she took a lot of swings. Like, they were definitely comfortable going to her, but I'm sure, it'll take a little bit of time for her.
I think she even in an interview was like, I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So those were the key transactions from last week. What game are you pumped to talk about?
What game am I not pumped to talk about? That's the real question. If you want to start, since we were talking about Indy a little bit there, their other game that week, they got swept against Omaha, who had the weird sweep both ways week. But Indy started their week against Vegas, and Vegas had a good second set, but other than that, didn't look great again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's happening with Vegas? The passing is bad.
Yeah.
They've got 2 rookie liberos who I think just like aren't ready to game quite yet. There are moments where they're not. Sometimes they're great, but
Yeah.
I
It
do
looks
feel like that kind of hurts a little bit.
yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like Hannah was passing okay, but I know that sometimes that can be their
Their Achilles
Achilles
heel.
heel.
Achilles heel. And that their game against Indy, that was their good hitting game. They hit over 200 in that game. They hit under 100 in their second game
Uh,
against Grand Rapids, where they got blocked 18 times in 3 sets.
Yeah, rough.
Cameron Hanna, she's been on the right and she hit really well in
Okay.
that game. Did the
They didn't
middles
have
get
another
set at all?
they didn't have another outside.
Ah, the second outside issue. Grace Loberg came in for a bit. That didn't work. So they were looking for something different for charity. Willow Johnson was on the right side for a bit too, just to switch stuff up, I guess.
Not sure.
I don't know. The passing looked terrible,
Yeah,
I will say.
I think that's the issue.
And 9 service errors compared to Indy's 7. That's not the craziest we've ever
Yeah.
seen.
No.
But the energy was just not with them.
Yeah. I mean, they had 15 blocks.
I know.
But I guess if you don't have the offense,
Yeah.
you're not, the thing is like they might be getting balls over, getting the occasional kill, but
I definitely saw some free balls go over in that one, you know?
uh-huh.
Yeah, the second set skews so much of it just, yeah, they hit almost like 500 in that second set. And
Uh
other than that,
so if
their
we
other 6 sets of the week were pretty similar. Like they're around that,
Got
200
it.
at the top end and 50 on the bottom end.
So streaky.
Yeah, they
yeah.
found one
Up and
one
down.
set where they had it all working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that was really a beating.
if we focus just on set 4,
Mm.
Indy hit 444
Hmm.
and
Mm.
Vegas hit 132.
Yeah,
So that'll do it.
it really
Yeah.
will. Indy loves to play well at home.
Well,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
if
that
the
gym, it's like
yeah,
small.
Yep.
Fortress.
Fun.
So, and I think, and then they fill it. And it's
Yeah,
like,
And they've
what a
got
great
that
people are
environment to play in.
pumped.
mascot with the volleyball head
Yeah.
as a head.
Yeah.
And she's
Mm,
just dancing around.
And they
yeah,
have fun colors. I really do like the Indy Ignite colors. I like it when they
Me
wear the orange
too.
jerseys. It's like a
You
fun little
like the
surprise.
orange. A fun little surprise.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
A
I
bold
didn't
color.
realize. And then you're like, oh yeah, I guess fire is orange. Good for you.
mm, you're right.
Now that I
Yeah.
think about it,
Now that I think about it, those
I
are
never
appropriate
thought about it
colors.
like that.
Yeah.
Indy is really clamoring to get back toward
Yeah.
the top.
Yep.
And them putting Vegas down a little bit. Vegas is experiencing a blip of sorts.
You were real cheeky when Indy was out of that top four. Vegas was number one, and the vibe were gonna make it, and your playoff predictions were gonna be right. But all of a sudden, I mean, that's the interesting one right now is that fourth spot, that last playoff spot.
Uh-huh.
Like everyone in the competition for it is just losing against
Yeah.
everyone right now. It's like maybe
Yeah.
Against the
maybe
person they
Grand
need to beat.
Rapids, yeah, like
Yeah.
Well, so Grand Rapids swept Vegas a couple days
mhm,
later,
just blocked the shit out of them.
Yeah. Pretty
for
spectacular.
sure.
And just out hit them like crazy.
Yeah.
Erica Pritchard, I think, really finding her stride on the right side.
Yeah, she definitely played better than against San Diego.
Paige Briggs Romine hit 500 on the match.
That's wild.
She gave a really good post-game interview. I continue to be wowed by these women who like can just like come off the court and be sweating and give like a poised, wonderful, clear-headed interview. I'm like, you're all so media trained.
I will say Carly Snyder again is not like putting up the numbers that she once was. We're still seeing the effects of the player of the week
Player of the week hangover.
hangover. Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
she's a little bit up and down too. She hit negative in the first set, negative 100, and then in the second hit 429. So I
Oh,
think she like makes adjustments really quickly, which is maybe
yeah.
why she's able to like still put the team on her back in certain instances is that she's just like, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I
She's
learned
pretty
something
mature. Yeah.
yes,
She's been playing a
exactly.
long time. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I feel like her probably her presence I mean, in the second set, she also
She's
passed 88%
she's a
positive.
very solid passer, and I think they need her to pass.
And she serves for a long time.
Yep.
She served 14 times in this full match,
Wow.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that Carly Snyder's jump topspin is kind of lethal
Yep.
from what it looks like.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
mean
love a
she
consistent serve.
yeah. She she served 20 times in their other game and had an
Wow.
ace and no airs. But I mean that was why that their last game, their sweep of Vegas was impressive because they came off of hitting under 100, I think,
Hmm.
in their match against the Mojo.
Yeah. Well, they have Shimei is going to be back. So that'll
Mhm.
be interesting to see how the team adjusts to that
Yeah. And
little
if they
shakeup.
can, yeah, if they can, put some wins together, and maybe they'll be trying for that fourth spot. I don't know why Grand Rapids played so differently without Chimay. Like I wouldn't have said that Chimay was the make or break,
Yeah.
but maybe it just took some time to find who the backup right side should be in that instance.
Yeah.
But her back row, I feel like defensively and offensively makes a big difference too in terms of just being another option
Yep.
that the other side blocker needs to worry about. So maybe it's that. I have to pay more attention now that hopefully she'll be back.
Yep.
Was this the match that on match point, August Rasky got hit in the face? I'm pretty sure Hannah Maddox hit her square in the face.
Ow.
The ball, like the shape of the ball, red. Forehead,
Ow.
nose, upper lip. And she was trying to
Yeah.
overhand dig it and it just went through her hands pretty much. Like she just didn't
Because,
get them up
yeah.
fast enough.
Because Hannah Maddox hits the shit out of the ball.
And it was down the line, and
Oh.
they left too much line. The blocker left too much line, and it was match point,
Well,
and
now I
they
would I would argue if it hit her in the face, that wasn't too much line. It was the correct amount of line because she was there. She just didn't
Her
dig it
face is
fast
in the
enough.
way.
I think that the problem was that how can you say that for sure?
How can you say that for sure? If you're
She
getting
was in the
hit,
right spot. You're right.
yeah. Unless they weren't supposed to leave line
Yeah, I don't know.
and she wasn't expecting it.
She wasn't too far back on defense, which was the only thing. Like she didn't get. She was probably 12-foot line, whereas I feel like kind of right
Oh,
back, you want to get to 15.
yeah.
So it
So
was either a
maybe,
fast ball to the outside, but
yeah.
I also feel like at this level, the blockers are reading where the arm is going and reaching that way, like reaching the direction of where the hand and wrist are facing.
Yeah.
Middles at least are doing middle
Yeah.
blockers are doing that quite a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
They paused it because I think it was 24-21 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they paused and went and talked to her, and it was a whole thing. And she was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna play for the next
Yeah.
point.
If
It's
it's the
match
last
point."
point. Yeah.
And
Oh my
she
gosh.
did shake it off. She was a champ. I just people in the chat then were like, "What's the concussion protocol?" And I was like, "Great news. I have it in my email because it was forwarded to us." And if the player says I'm fine, I'm good to play, then in that moment, there's kind of nothing you can do.
Oh, great.
You can't force anybody to come off, but there's
Why
they
not?
have a baseline because if they're not showing certain symptoms,
Yeah. But who's checking them
if
for symptoms?
well, there was the trainer was there talking to
Oh,
her
okay.
and checking and there's so it's if they display two of these 15 symptoms, then you should test them. But
Yeah,
it's not very clear about they may not continue to play, right?
sure.
And obviously the symptoms that she displayed were she was red, she
In the
reacted
face area.
to getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
She needed a second, right? And then there's if they're clearly dizzy, if they black out for a second, there's all of these more intense symptoms. But I do think that what probably would have happened is I would imagine she played that final point, they won, and then everybody does a baseline test at the beginning of the season, and you keep testing throughout the year so that they know what your baseline is. I don't know what this kind of test is. I'm sure that it's some kind of eye tracking and like quick response. They were like citing medical studies about this, and then I think that once you've been had that like instance of a head situation, a head trauma, they
Mhm.
retest you and compare back reaction times and stuff. So there is stuff in place this year, we know, but they don't really talk about it. And if she's actively saying I'm good to play, then I don't think they have to pull her off.
Yeah.
I see.
Anyway, okay, can we talk about the Orlando Valkyries? I love them so much.
Yes, let's talk about Orlando. Let's talk about them sweeping Omaha and then them against the Vibe, a very scary match. Just
Very
quickly against
scary.
Omaha. I mean, honestly, this is good volleyball. You
Yeah.
Whoa,
like
Omaha
pure
lost and hit
sport.
321.
it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Omaha should be
unbelievable.
proud of what they did.
Proud to have lost in this way.
Yes. Yes.
321 and you lost. We just talked about two matches where the winners hit 200 something, right?
Honestly, this is like kind of
On the match.
this felt very similar to the Omaha Indy game
Mm-hmm.
in a way. I guess maybe not so similar because I don't think Indy hit quite as well. But I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it was a sweep. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same
Yeah.
time, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Well,
It's interesting because I
indeed.
do feel like everybody's just bringing their, I mean, not everybody, but some of these teams are bringing their A game against Omaha. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea of like, this is the prior champ and they've got some
Uh-huh.
returners, like that target on their
Yeah.
back.
Well,
I
and
do feel
also it's the
like
biggest crowd you're going to play in front of. It's like going to Madison Square Garden, you
for
know?
sure.
Yeah.
That's where you want
Yeah,
to perform the best.
when the games are at.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
biggest stage you'll be on.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, Brittany
Yeah.
Abercrombie, 1 kill away from 50 on the week.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Just under
She is
500.
she is very fun to watch.
Yeah.
Kaz Brown had 562.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just so good.
Yep.
We were talking about Vegas earlier, like that's their, if they're streaky, they were really good at the beginning. They're having a rough time now. Trying to line it up for the end of the season to be really good again. Orlando's just already there. They got to continue this form through the entire playoffs now.
Yeah.
And we were questioning it, but I think their two libero system is working. Whatever they're
I would say it's
doing,
working.
it's working.
Yeah,
What
Because I
no
think
do I
notes.
know?
that's gonna be I think what won them this game is their serve receive
Yeah.
was good.
Courtney Schwann was passing great as
Yeah.
well.
She's another consistent presence, a lot like Carly Snyder, I think.
The
Like,
experience, yeah. The
yes.
like
And
calm,
yeah.
the
And while
reading.
yeah, again, like you see the numbers for hitting, maybe not like spectacular, but what I see from her is like she's being very smart with the ball most of the time.
Hmm.
And like, as an outside, you get a lot of, I don't want to say garbage. All these sets are beautiful, but you get a lot of
Yes.
extra stuff. You
Mm.
got to do something with it.
Brittany Abercrombie is getting set so many balls.
Yeah.
But you've got other people who are putting the ball away.
Yeah.
Kaz and Adora this game. So that means that the block isn't just waiting for Brittany, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's enough variation that like I mean, I do get worried her arm's going to fall off, but she truly does not seem phased by it at
No,
all.
she is so steady.
Yes, like
Like,
I never even see her face
no.
change into like a, oh, I've been
Yeah.
doing a
Even
lot of swinging
like
today.
against Atlanta, when they lost,
Hmm.
they came back from the intermission, they dropped two sets.
Yeah.
And she, I think, got blocked a few times and stuff. She still seemed like so solid and just kept at it,
Hmm.
maybe changed her shots and got right back into it. And it was really impressive to watch.
Yeah.
And they had this great save. Did you guys see that?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was against Vibe. It was very exciting. It was like into the bleachers type
Uh-huh.
thing.
Yeah, she's had a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun watch. I mean, they won a game with Adora hitting like under 100 against the Vibe. It's
Yeah, she
nice.
came out in the fifth, right?
Mm.
In that game, and Lindsay Vanderweide stepped up, which
Mm-hmm.
was cool. Maybe that was the fourth a little bit. Um, Something I noticed about against Vibe was that Atlanta changed their blocking scheme because Natalie Foster was like fucking them up.
Yeah, they were triple blocking a
And then they
middle.
were triple blocking her, and it worked a little bit.
Yeah.
But like then Chompoo was just like, "Oh, I'll just give it to Brittany. That's fine."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I was trying to mix it up by going to my middles more, but fine, I won't.
but fine. And Natalie Foster still hit 333 on the day, and
Oh
Courtney
yeah.
Swan hit a little bit better. I was so struck by how good Chompoo is in this match.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Another consistent presence. Her court awareness, her defense, her consistent setting. I mean, truly, it's
Yeah.
never in a different, it's in the same place from everywhere. That
Yeah.
she could be setting from anywhere on the court, and the consistency of where the ball lands is so incredible. I was just like, I think that sometimes, especially because she's a little bit shorter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't feel like she does a lot of flashy trying to get kills, like go over on two.
Yeah.
Her serve is good. She's kind of, but she's not a very like, you won't walk away and be like, that setter is amazing, amazing, because sometimes the flashy things are what you notice. With her, she just does her job extremely well. And actually, a lot of times, that's a sign of a really good setter when you don't notice,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
She beats the ball every time. She doesn't have to fall down to get to it. Like sometimes that looks flashy. She doesn't even
Yeah.
need to because she beats it. She beats the ball to and can set from standing and from like a position that doesn't look like she did something crazy to get it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yep.
such a big fan.
Agreed.
Natalie
Um,
Foster leading the league in aces too.
yeah, she's got a good serve. I felt like this, like Atlanta, they kind of started in the third and fourth set. I was like, oh, this is the Atlanta that I remember.
Mm.
And the fifth set. The fifth set was fine. At the end of the day, I think it was just a close match and like Orlando took it. But Merritt Beeson
Mm.
came alive
Uh-huh.
and she had a really great game. And they needed that, I think.
Yeah,
So
her and
like,
Tia Timmer were
yeah,
really good, and they had three people with 40 swings in that game, which, even though it's a 5 set game,
No, that's a good spread.
rare.
yeah,
Rare. That's the pin hitters.
yep.
Maybe it's harder to set the middles than we think.
Probably. I mean, again, look what happened to Natalie Foster. Poor girl got 3 blocks set up against her.
Triple blocked.
Like, well, what are we gonna do about
They're like,
that?
you're gonna set a middle? Look what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I also
I
think
would
like, you know, when you're up a middle against another middle, they know all each other's tricks.
mm,
Like,
but there's
it's
only one of you. The thing
what?
that Natalie Foster, it's only one on one. The thing that I think Natalie Foster's really good at doing as a hitter is having a little bit of space between her and the net and being able to change the direction of the hit, like when
Yeah.
she's up there,
Yeah.
and be like facing head on and then choose whether to go
Yeah. And still
thumbs
get
down
power
or
behind it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Um,
I would love to
I would
talk
say
to a setter about
usually
middle.
there's 2 blockers against the middle though. It's not usually 1-on-1.
Serve receive, I find that it's more frequently one on one. Is that something you've noticed? Because the out which pin hitter helps block
Left
a
side.
middle? Left
The left
side.
side.
That's why it works sometimes if the dig is a little bit in front, right? Like technically the right side is
Yeah.
supposed to audible and help,
Yeah.
but
Because
if you're setting
you don't
a
want to.
one ball from like the three position,
Yeah. That's why I love a balanced offense. I don't,
yeah,
I like yeah passing to the middle of the court rather than zone whatever the hell we call that zone.
six.
Sure.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
That has been really fun to watch.
Yep. Definitely. Sir,
What else?
should we talk about the
Want to?
Fury a little bit?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like, I mean, I guess we can talk about them through the Mojo too, because the Mojo were undefeated.
Yeah, which was good because I think
Reagan,
they were on a bit of a
Pittman.
losing streak. Yeah.
Yeah,
They had lost, I think, 6 in a row.
yeah,
Ooh,
they were 3-8.
ooh.
They're back up even with the rise.
Their middles were doing work
It's true. Reagan Pittman 435, Veronica Stone 440
and the
in the
blocks.
win against Columbus.
Huge amount of blocks. That's
Hmm.
Nikki's
Elise McGee
parody.
hit
She's
well.
always talking about.
It's the parody. It's what makes this league so much fun to watch.
You've gotta
Elise
see
McGee hit
it.
great. You've got to see this parody.
I don't know who that is. Who is Elise
Elise
McGee?
McGee, she's a rookie and she plays on the right side. And she's been back and forth between practice squad and active roster, but she was drafted in the fifth round out of Baylor.
Nice. Way to show up. Way
And
to take your opportunity
she really did.
and
She
hit
made something of
400.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So for Columbus, we've still got, do we still have Megan Lush in a boot? Is
Yep.
that a thing that's still happening?
Subbed in.
Yeah,
Um,
right? Oh, Abby Walker hit great
Yep.
on
Yeah.
18 attempts. This is where Isabella got like the majority of the attempts in the other outsides.
Yeah.
Izzy had 48. Kaylee Cox and Raina Terry had 27, 28
Yep.
attempts. And the outsides weren't doing it this game. Jill Gill
Yeah.
came in,
They were try
also wasn't doing it.
they were
We've
throwing
been
a bunch of stuff at the wall and they
we've been speculating that Jill is injured, and is that what we think is happening? Or she's not producing like she was at the beginning of last year. Did she lose her confidence? Was
that
she
could be
so
it.
sick of everyone talking about her being 5'7"?
I think she became predictable.
hmm,
Or
Interesting.
she always was maybe and people just scouted her.
shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
Well,
right.
but
Have we talked about everybody? We haven't
yeah,
yeah,
really talked about Omaha? Oh, we did.
we
I
did.
mean, yeah,
Like
a little bit.
enough.
They did the sweep and sweep.
Okay, yeah, you're
They
right.
swept
That's
one
fine.
direction and then the other.
They
Yeah.
swept the other way. You're right. That's enough discussing
I don't know what that means though.
the volleyball games.
I can't figure that out.
What?
So did the sweeping. I mean, is it the Valkyries are that good?
When Omaha swept
Indy.
Indy, I felt like Indy was experiencing like, oh no, we're at Omaha.
They
It's a real like they didn't handle the big
they were
arena.
pretty yeah, it didn't feel like for example, Nina was not playing well. And then there was
No.
like
Hmm.
kind of a panic.
Yes, there was panic happening.
Yeah.
And when you've got like enough rookies making an impact,
So many rookies.
so many rookies, like there's not, that's just like you got to get used to it. Ajani didn't hit like she normally does. We
Yeah.
had these outsides like still coming back. I don't know. I just felt like even so, Lydia Martin hit great. Even even with those players not really hitting that well, it was so close. In
Yeah.
two of the three sets, I thought they could have gone either way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But you don't have time to mess around, you know?
Small
Omaha swept and they
margins.
only hit 243 on the match. That's like not
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah.
They'll come back stronger, I believe.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. For week 9, I mean, I think this is pretty much halfway through the season. We'll approach halfway through the season in a couple days. So, March 5th, San Diego at Grand Rapids, and at the same time, Omaha at Columbus. Say a little prayer for Columbus. And then later that evening, Indy at Vegas. Nothing on Thursday. Friday the 7th, Vegas at Atlanta. That's it. Nothing on Saturday. Sunday, March 9th, 3 matches. Indy at Atlanta at 3 p.m. Eastern, Columbus at Orlando at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then if you want to dual screen it, Grand Rapids at San Diego at 7 Eastern. Some Sunday day games. So that's a lot of volleyball for ya.
Woohoo. Week 9 coming
Week
at you.
9. Thanks for listening to Court Captains Volleyball podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and like and subscribe on YouTube if you like what you're hearing. Support small podcasts. And if you don't like what you're hearing, then please just go ahead and mind your business. Follow us on Instagram at CourtCaptainsPod and email us your questions or comments at courtcaptainspod@gmail.com.
And don't forget to be the captain of your own court.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.